Clayton D. Lockett died last night, but not the way even defenders of the death penalty in the state of Oklahoma, where he died, think he was supposed to die the way he did. In fact, Mr. Lockett's execution was supposed to be the first in a kind of macabre double-header being hosted by the state of Oklahoma, with the second criminal to be executed, a Charles F. Warner. Now, that execution was suspended, the attempt to do it, because what happened with Mr. Lockett went so terribly wrong. He did die. He died of a heart attack. Here's what was supposed to happen, and here's what really happened. Brought into the execution chamber, strapped to a gurney, he was supposed to receive 3 drugs. The first, a benzodiazepine, to relax and ultimately render him unconscious. The second, a paralytic, a drug that would stop his breathing. And third and finally, a drug that would cause his heart to stop beating. If the first drug isn't administered properly, the second 2 go in, and terrible pain ensues, and a horrible choking death, which the prisoner can do nothing to stop but is fully aware of, goes on. It turned out the first drug didn't go in. However it was inserted, the line into his vein did not continue to carry those drugs in, and he began to wake up. They did stop their other drugs, and he did, which had begun to enter his body, and he did die of a heart attack briefly later. But this is absolutely horrifying. It was horrifying enough that even in a proud death penalty state, they understood they couldn't go any further. Here's the thing. There is actually something good, if I can use that word, that comes out of all this horror. No matter how clean and tidy we try and make the death penalty, the bottom line is we are killing people. And no matter how much someone may support the justice of having a death penalty, and I want to be absolutely clear, I am not one of them. No one should think that however tidied up the process is, it shouldn't be haunting and disturbing to do. To the extent that the botched execution of Clayton Lockett forces all people, whatever they think about the death penalty, to remember that no matter how many gowns we put on and how many medical gurneys we use and how we may use drugs as opposed to guillotines and bullets, the taking of another human being's life is a messy process. And if we're going to defend it, let's not defend it on the basis of it's the humane way to go. If we're going to defend it, let's be clear. The taking of another person's life is always a brutal and brutalizing act. You still think it's worth it? We can have that debate. But let's not pretend any longer, as we were reminded again last night in Oklahoma, that there's anything clean, neat, tidy, or easy about taking the life of another human being, no matter how innocent or how guilty they may be.